Donald Trump's announcement the other day with the U.S.-Mexican trade deal coming together shows, once again, the complete hypocrisy of the left and their mainstream media hacks. The most genius detail that has either been completely left out of news coverage on some mainstream news stations, or worse, twisted 180 degrees to make it seem like bad news, like I saw on CNN, because it turns the Trump hates Mexicans narrative completely on its head. And that is, Mexican auto workers, once this deal commences, are going to make a minimum wage of $16 per hour. That is huge. Because most auto workers make an average of $9 per hour now in Mexico, with many of them making as low as $4 per hour. So these people at $4 an hour are going to be receiving a minimum wage increase of 250%. This will instantly raise their standard of living a complete level, if not two. Going from $4 an hour to $16 an hour brings you from very low middle class all the way up to middle or upper middle class in Mexico. You go from paycheck to paycheck and just barely paying your bills to being able to completely pay your bills and put some money away, and maybe next year you're picking the type of car you want to purchase for your own family. That will stop illegal immigration, or at least partly. One of also the biggest components of this deal, it locks up that 75% of automobiles and all automobile parts must be manufactured in North America, whether it's Mexico, America, or Canada. What this does is it brings a lot of manufacturing jobs that are right now in China and Indonesia, over in Asia, and brings them to our shores, North America at least. This is what I was talking about in a previous video, where we have to start strengthening Mexico's economy and then start working on South America's economy. These are the countries and these are the regions of the world that America should be focusing on. We should stop pushing all of our manufacturing to China, where we over the last 30 years have literally strengthened our enemy's economy to the point that they now are a real foe to be reckoned with. These decent paying jobs that we're bringing into Mexico will have indirect buying power as well. All of the buying that this extra $10 per hour, $12 per hour brings into the Mexican economy will also increase other services. The whole Mexican economy will start to grow. We'll have a much stronger partner on our southern border. This again will help alleviate illegal immigration into the United States, because remember, most people do not want to leave their families, their home countries, everything and everyone that they know. So if we can help the Mexican economy grow, we will be a much stronger country ourselves. That is the genius of Donald Trump's negotiating style. And of course, this is what the mainstream media intentionally leaves out, or in a lot of cases twists into lies. He did this at NATO, where he not only demanded the EU countries pay their minimum requirements, he called out Germany's pipeline deal with Russia. And surprise, surprise, right now, they're talking about this pipeline with Russia in a European Union delegation. He also did it with North Korea and with China, where he used trading leverage on China to get them to hold up to harsh sanctions on North Korea, and that's what forced North Korea to the negotiating table in the first place. But this deal is much closer to home, where Donald Trump is forcing Mexican car manufacturers to pay a literally 250% increase for Mexicans' lowest cost labor, the minimum wage workers. Literally lifting the standard of living for these hard-working people. It's great for Mexicans, it's great for Americans, it's great for everyone. Except, of course, the mainstream media and the left. This shows, once again, the complete bias of the mainstream media. And by the way, who still have not retracted the statement where Donald Trump said that MS-13 members were animals, and the mainstream media, Telemundo and all those channels, literally put out all throughout South America and Mexico that Donald Trump said all immigrants are animals, as an intentional lie for them to perpetrate or perpetuate their narrative. They've made no correction on that. Here in America, they were forced to correct that because there are competing news organizations showing that to the American people. But down there, there is no competition. So they've let that lie sit. In fact, have stoked it to the point that all of South America and Central America believe that Donald Trump said that they were all animals. The mainstream media are a bunch of liars. One important and very hypocritical fact on this raise to $16 an hour is Canada's reaction to it. When Canada were in NAFTA negotiations with Mexico, America, and Canada, they flat out denied the $16 minimum wage, fought against it, refused to sign. But now they're out of the deal, so it doesn't matter. Just like the left, that is now trying to make it look bad by stating, well, cars will cost more. The hypocrites on the left and in Canada who complain relentlessly about income inequalities and low standards of living, it's basically their mantra. When it comes down to actually doing something about it, help fix and alleviate the problem, they're not only negotiating against implementing it in the first place, but they have their partisan hacks in the mainstream media twist, lie, and omit facts to fight against it in hindsight. When are people finally going to wake up to the socialist left real agenda? It's power. That is all they want. They will lie to get it. And once they do, they will not care less about actual citizens. Wake up, people. Wake up.